Today, I come to share with you a mystery that you may have overlooked. A secret that lies in nature itself, waiting to be discovered. Did you know that when you hug a tree, your spirit and the tree's spirit intertwine in a silent dance? Since time immemorial, ancient monks have known that there is a subtle power in trees, something that goes beyond their shade and fruit. Trees are like ancient guardians, witnesses of life and the wind. And there is a secret held in every hug we give them. In fact, some recent studies have shown that trees emit unique vibrations that can influence our emotions, balancing our being. But what does this really mean for your life? Stay with me until the end, for there I will share an ancient secret that will allow you to connect in a special way with these guardians of the earth. Something that very few know. Next, I will share with you 6 incredible benefits you can gain from practicing this. And if you think this video is helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment. Trees are life and energy. Number 1. Connection with vital energy. When you hug a tree, you are not just wrapping your arms around its trunk, but you are connecting your own vital energy with that of nature. Imagine for a moment the heartbeat of the earth running through every fiber of your being. That heartbeat is called prana, the energy that flows and animates all living beings in the universe. Prana is the subtle breath that gives life, present in the air we breathe, in the water we drink, and in every leaf that stirs with the wind. The ancient sages knew that when you hug a tree, this energy, the prana, flows between us and the tree, like a river connecting two shores. Feeling the roughness of the bark against your skin and the pulse of life running through the trunk, something deeper happens. Your own energy flow synchronizes with the slow and steady rhythm of the tree, bringing a sense of peace and serenity. It's as if each hug is a reminder that we are not separate from nature, but deeply intertwined with it. For Buddhist monks, this connection is an act of communion with the universe. It is a way to feel the pulse of the earth, the constant heartbeat that never ceases, that remains even when everything else changes. By hugging a tree, we become part of this eternal cycle, sharing our energy with nature and receiving its calm in return. It is a silent and sacred exchange, where the tree helps us purify our mind, release accumulated tensions, and regain the inner harmony that we so need in these times of haste and confusion. The ancient Buddhist texts teach us that every being in nature, every tree, every river, is a reflection of life itself. And when we approach them with respect and gratitude, they reveal their essence to us, that prana that flows from their roots to the leaves, which we can feel if we open our hearts. It is not just a physical act. It is a meditation in movement, where your being merges with that of the tree and both share the same vital breath. This connection reminds us that life is a vast web of interwoven energies and that by reconnecting with nature, we also reconnect with the deepest part of ourselves. Number 2. Emotional healing. Trees do not only heal the body, but also the soul. The calm you feel under their shade is much more than a fleeting sensation. It's as if trees, with their deep roots and ancient strength, are capable of bearing the weight of our emotional burdens. When you approach a tree and hug it, you feel the solidity of its trunk and the roughness of its bark, as if its firmness could support what you carry within. In the ancient wisdom of Buddhist monks, it is said that trees are like elders who keep stories, a place where human emotions find refuge and rest. Each tree has witnessed the passage of time, the seasons that come and go, the sunny days and the storms. That accumulated wisdom, that unbreakable stability, provides us with a safe space to release the emotions that burden us. By resting your cheek against its trunk, by feeling its calm energy, it's as if you were handing over your worries, and in return, you receive a deep peace. The emotional healing that trees provide is not just a metaphor. From a spiritual perspective, trees have the ability to absorb the negative energies that surround us. Sadness, anxiety, and fear gradually dissolve in their presence, like dew evaporating with the first ray of sunshine. It is a subtle, almost imperceptible process that invites us to open our hearts and trust nature to restore our inner balance. Hugging a tree is, in essence, an act of surrender. It is allowing ourselves to be vulnerable to nature, opening up to it without fear, letting its energy envelop and heal us. Trees teach us that just as their leaves fall in autumn to renew themselves, we too can let go of what weighs us down. And in doing so, we find in their branches a deep comfort, a space where serenity is restored, and the spirit is lightened. This connection, this healing, gives us back a sense of belonging. It reminds us that even when we feel lost and disconnected, there is always a place where we can find the calm we seek. Trees, in their silence, teach us to embrace our own vulnerability and to remember that, like them, we are capable of blossoming again after every storm. Number 3. Boosting creativity. Buddhist monks have found inspiration by meditating under trees for centuries. And it's no coincidence. There is an ancient secret hidden in the presence of trees, one that helps us free our mind and awaken the creative potential that we all carry within. When we sit under their shade or surround them with our arms, something inside us opens up, as if the tree could release a forgotten key that leads to the deepest corners of our imagination. The presence of a tree, with its stillness and steady rhythm, activates a part of our brain that the wise once called the spirit of contemplation. It's the same part that awakens when we listen to the soft murmur of a stream or the whisper of the wind among the leaves. This state of calm and focus allows us to free our minds from repetitive thoughts and worries, clearing the way for ideas to flow naturally, like a river that sheds the stones blocking its course. In Buddhist practice, hugging a tree is not just an act of connection, but also one of inspiration. When in contact with the calm and steady energy of a tree, our internal rhythm slows down. Suddenly, the rush disappears, and in that space of calm, new thoughts arise, fresh ideas, solutions to problems that once seemed impossible. It's as if the tree teaches us that creativity, like nature, cannot be forced. It simply flows when we give it the time and space it needs. The ancient texts say that many of Buddhism's deepest teachings were born at the foot of a tree, where monks found the clarity to understand the mysteries of the mind and the universe. Because a tree, with its tall canopy and serene shade, teaches us to think beyond the immediate, to see the connections between the visible and the invisible, between the known and the unknown. So, when you feel blocked, when the ideas don't come, try to find a tree. Lean your back against its trunk, feel its energy flowing through your body, and let your mind be free. The answers, the solutions, and the inspiration you seek might be there, waiting in that small moment of shared silence with nature. Number 4. Strengthening the immune system. Modern science has begun to rediscover what the wise have known for millennia. Trees emit a natural essence called phytoncides, compounds that strengthen our defenses and protect us against illnesses. These molecules, invisible to the human eye but full of life, float in the air around trees, creating an environment that you not only breathe but also embrace. When you wrap your arms around a tree, your body immerses itself in this essence, like a balm for your physical health. It's as if nature itself shares its immune system with you, providing an invisible shield against the threats that surround us. Phytoncides, released by trees to protect themselves from pathogens and pests, have the power to influence our bodies, increasing the activity of our NK cells, which are the natural defenders of our immune system. Buddhist monks have experienced this benefit for generations, feeling how simply being close to a tree can revitalize both body and spirit. Spending time among trees, and especially hugging them, is like receiving an embrace from nature itself, an embrace that heals and renews. It is not merely a poetic belief. Science has also shown that the practice of spending time in forests, known as forest bathing, reduces levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and strengthens our defenses. And so, the trees, with their ancient wisdom, offer us what we need without asking for anything in return. They provide us with oxygen, shade, and now we know they also give us silent protection against illnesses. You don't need to go far. Just find a tree and allow yourself to feel its presence. Isn't it amazing that something as simple as hugging a living being that has been on Earth long before us can be so powerful for our health? So, every time you approach a tree and wrap your arms around it, remember that you are not only finding peace and serenity but also strengthening your body, breathing air that carries with it the world's oldest medicine, nature itself. Number 5. Connection with the here and now. The tree, immobile and majestic, teaches us the art of patience and full presence. In its stillness, it reminds us that life is not measured in the quickened beats of haste, but in the depth of every moment we live. When we hug a tree, we feel its firmness and stillness, as if inviting us to pause, to breathe deeply, and to be aware of the only thing that truly exists, the now. In its immobility, the tree has witnessed the arrival of each dawn and the fall of every night. It lives without haste, without anticipating the future or regretting the past. It shows us that life flows, like a river that never stops, and that time is but a breath, a whisper that passes among the leaves. And when we embrace it, we connect with that same silent wisdom. We let go of the worries that stir us and the desires that trouble our spirit, and we focus on feeling the trunk beneath our hands, the scent of earth and dry leaves, the murmur of the wind passing through the branches. For Buddhist monks, this connection is a form of active meditation, a reminder that true peace is not found in yesterday or tomorrow, but in the present moment. Embracing a tree is an act of surrender, of acceptance of impermanence. It allows the mind to stop wandering, to calm down, and to find in breathing the rhythm of the moment. Through this simple gesture, we understand that we are not different from the tree, that we both are part of the same fabric of life, and that we share the same moment in this vast universe. The tree teaches us to root ourselves in the present, just as its roots cling to the earth, so that we too can feel the stability that each passing second offers. It shows us that, just as its branches reach for the sky while still clinging to the ground, we too can dream and aspire, but always returning to the place where we are, to the reality that supports us. In this act of embrace, the rush dissolves, fears fade away, and we become, if only for a moment, one with the eternity of the present moment. Number 6. The renewal of the soul. Embracing a tree is a ritual as ancient as time itself, a gesture of communion between humanity and nature that helps us release the weight of the past and renew our spirit. For the ancients, the tree was a bridge between heaven and earth, a living connection that reminds us of our roots and elevates us towards the divine. When we embrace it, we surrender to its energy, as if its trunk were a channel capable of draining our burdens and worries, freeing us from the invisible ties that hold us back. Imagine for a moment that each time you wrap your arms around a tree, all the worries weighing on your heart, the guilt, the sadness, the fears, are absorbed by that firm and serene trunk. Monks say that the tree, in its infinite patience, takes these burdens and carries them deep into the earth, where they dissolve, where they can no longer reach us. It is an act of surrender, an offering of our shadows to the earth that supports us. And so, in that instant, we become fertile ground for something new, for a seed of light to sprout within us. This seed is like a small ray of sunshine nestled in our hearts. At first, it is barely perceptible, but with each embrace, with each act of gratitude towards nature, it grows and strengthens. It becomes an internal tree, a symbol of the constant renewal of our soul. It is the flower that blooms after the storm, the smile that emerges after tears. In this process, embracing a tree becomes a symbol of transformation. By surrendering our sorrows, we receive in return the promise of a new dawn within us. The trees, with their strength and silent wisdom, teach us that life does not stop, that every winter is followed by a spring. Thus, when we embrace a tree, we not only connect with its vitality but also learn to let go of what no longer serves us, to allow the old skin of our worries to shed, like the leaves that fall in autumn. Because trees do not fear letting go of what they no longer need, knowing that everything is part of the natural cycle of life. They teach us that true growth requires release, freeing ourselves from what weighs us down to make room for the new. And in this act, we find a form of deep renewal, a reminder that we are part of a larger cycle, that our sorrows and pains are not eternal, but transient, like the wind that carries away the dry leaves. Embracing a tree is remembering that, just like it, we too can bloom again, even after the longest winters. For us, the monks, this ritual is a path to healing the soul. It is a moment to close our eyes, feel the texture of the bark under our hands, and listen to the whisper of the earth through the roots. In that silent embrace, we reconnect with our essence, with a tranquil heartbeat of nature that reminds us that, above all, there is always an opportunity to be reborn, to be like the tree that grows in all directions, seeking the sun and offering shade to those in need. Each embrace is a meditation, a silent prayer, a moment of gratitude for the opportunity to let go of what we no longer need. It is like letting the wind carry away an old wound so that light can enter in its place. Embracing a tree is a reminder that, as human beings, we too are capable of renewing ourselves, of leaving behind scars, and of nourishing our own roots so that life can continue to flow. And so, the tree brings us back to our own center, to that seed of light that has always been there, waiting to grow. Dear seeker, you have reached the end, and as I promised, here is the secret you long to know. If you close your eyes while embracing a tree and place your forehead against its bark, breathing slowly, you will feel its energy flowing into your third eye, the center of intuition. This connection will allow you to receive the wisdom of nature, something we monks call the voice of silence. It is a simple yet powerful practice that few know, a way to open your mind and spirit to new perceptions. I hope these teachings have touched your heart and encourage you to discover the magic that each tree holds within its trunk. Remember that nature always speaks to us. We just need to be willing to listen. And if you seek to learn more about how to attract prosperity and fortune into your life, I have something special for you. Imagine that the solution to your debt problems and bad luck could be in a simple gesture, like placing something in your cup. In our next meeting, I will tell you what things you should place to change your energy and attract abundance. You won't want to miss this ancestral knowledge. See you there, Namaste.